Anybody remember these things? It's the highest-selling and fastest-growing e-cigarette on the market. In 2017, it generated $224 million in revenue. 2 years later, the company was expecting to triple its revenue. Juul briefly made its founders billionaires, created a new verb, and resurrected the United States' once-dying e-cigarette market. But what was once Silicon Valley's $38 billion darling now faces congressional investigations, Food and Drug Administration criticism, and potential bans in entire countries, including the US. But how did a product designed to help adult smokers quit become the face of the youth vaping crisis? To answer that question, it all started when Bowen and Monsees were just two graduate students at Stanford, bonding over late-night thesis sessions. Being smokers themselves, they loved the smoking ritual, but were well aware of its health risks. During their study sessions, they stumbled upon an idea that could save lives and shake up the tobacco industry. They realized smoking hadn't changed much and was controlled by powerful tobacco giants for ages, causing harm to millions. As smokers, they felt the risk and pondered, how could they create a safer way to deliver nicotine to adults and help them move past cigarettes? The duo got to work, crafting a sleek design and exploring alternatives for a less harmful nicotine delivery. After graduating, they turned their vision into a business, launching Plume and Packs, aiming to reinvent smoking for a wellness-focused generation. Most e-cigs at the time relied upon freebase nicotine, which can be harsh to inhale, so the founders started looking into using a nicotine salt. Thanks to that formulation, the Juul was born, packing a strong buzz in an elegant package. Thin and just under 4 inches in length, it resembled a USB drive. It activated automatically when a user inhaled, and featured a light that turned green when charged, red when the battery was low, and flashed rainbow when waved about. And that's how the journey of this once cool vape giant began. In nearly every aspect, Juul has triumphed in creating the captivating ritual that Bowen and Monsees had envisioned. Juul Labs has notched up millions in sales of vape devices and packs of pods, featuring flavors like mint and mango. By 2016, their sales had easily crossed the $1 billion mark. In 2018, Juul seized control of over 70% of the US e-cigarette market. The company's value skyrocketed to over $16 billion. The founders, Bowen and Monsees, transformed into paper billionaires. So what caused Juul's downfall? Well, it all started with their early marketing campaign, which initially contributed to their success, but later became the root of their problems. In the early days of Juul, the founders threw a big, stylish party as part of their marketing campaign. With famous DJs, food from a former Top Chef contestant, lots of free-flowing alcohol, and Juuls scattered around for the taking, it was quite the scene. A sexy campaign named Vaporized aimed to make Juul appealing to New York trendsetters and cool kids, countering the not-so-great reputation vaping had back then. The ads popped up in youth-oriented outlets, Times Square billboards, and even convenience stores, looking a bit too much like old cigarette ads. Although the ads weren't meant for kids, they attracted the attention of influencers who had a strong influence on teenagers. While the gadget didn't take off immediately, it eventually gained popularity through word of mouth, the general rise of e-cigs, and more convenience stores carrying Juul. However, not only middle-aged smokers, but also teenagers jumped on the bandwagon. About 50% of Juul's Twitter followers were under 18. The dream turned into a nightmare in 2019 when previously healthy teens started getting seriously sick with pneumonia-like symptoms linked to vaping. The CDC reported almost 200 cases of EVALI, e-cigarette or vaping-associated lung injury, by the end of August 2019. In response, Bowen and Monsees were summoned to Congress to discuss Juul's role in the youth vaping epidemic. Federal data from 2019 showed that a significant number of high schoolers and middle schoolers used e-cigarettes, with Juul being the most commonly cited brand. Although the issue was eventually linked to THC vapes, not Juul, the damage was done. Profits plummeted and regulations increased. Monsees has left the company, and Bowen now does part-time consulting. Vaping among teens is on the decline, but it's still an issue. The research on the dangers of vaping is inconclusive, with many experts believing it's safer than smoking cigarettes, but still risky. If Juul's rollout had been handled differently, some believe it could have been a positive force for public health.